What is up, Karatics? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Dumb Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for June 6th through June 12th, 2024. The current price ride for this week is the Calico GTF. It's primarily based on the Toyota Celica GT4 and has a normal price of just under $2 million and a trade price of just under $1.5 million. To get it for free this week, you have to get first place in an LS Car Meet Series race for 3 days in a row. In regards to performance, ironically, it's one of the best cars for the tuner races alongside the Vector and the Sultan RS Classic, etc. It's really all track dependent, but as the overall performing car, if you can only own one, the Calico is the best one from my experience for most situations. Plus, of course, it has tons of customization, being a tuner's DLC car, and it's just an overall really fun one to drive around with fantastic acceleration coming out of the corners, just a blast to drive. But anyways, continuing to be test ride vehicles for this week, we have the Sultan RS Classic, the Vector, and the Previon as well. Now, none of these are Remove website vehicles. However, all three of them do have limited time liveries on them this week. And for current gen console users, we have the SE Rally as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Continuing to the casino podium vehicle, we have the Karen Previon. Is primarily based on the 3rd gen Toyota Soarer mixed with the Lexus SC and has normal price of just under $1.5 million and a trade price of about $1.1 million. In regards to performance, it's in the Coupes class and is one of the top 2 performing cars in that class, and of course it has fantastic customization being a tuner's DLC car, so yeah, I definitely say it's worth trying to win this week. In terms of the dealership cars for this week, in luxury autos we have the Terminus and the Vivinite. Continuing to Simeons, we have the ETR1, the Silvestra, the 190Z, the regular Hakachu, and the Verus as well. And all of these are Remove website vehicles, so definitely make sure to pick them up this week if you don't already own them. Moving on to the discounts, in terms of property discounts, we have 40% off the auto shop properties, as well as 40% off the upgrades and renovations for them as well. Continuing to the vehicle discounts, starting off at Simeons, we have 40% off the ETR1, again a Remove website car. This one's in the supercar class and has fantastic handling, however it does suffer in terms of acceleration and top speed, which makes it pretty much a mid-tier performing car in that class. Onto a Legendary Motorsport website, we have 30% off the 300R. So this one's in the sports class and isn't the quickest car, being pretty average in terms of performance, but the styling of this car is phenomenal, at least in my opinion, and the customization is pretty great as well. Next up, we have 30% off the ZR350. So this one's in the sports class and is one of the slower ones in that class in regards to performance, but obviously the reason you buy this car is for its styling, customization, and of course the fact that it offers drift tuning, so makes it a ton of fun to mess around with. Highly recommend this one if you're a fan of the RX-7. It's a fantastic car. Moving along, we have 30% off the Jester RR. So this one's in a sports class and isn't really all that great performance-wise in that class. However, it is usable in tuners races and has the highest top speed of the tuners DLC cars, which makes it very competitive in certain Pursuit Series races. Plus, of course, being a tuners DLC car, it has tons of customization. Next up, we have 30% off the Strider. So this is a trike that's in the motorcycles class and is one of the slowest in that class, not surprising. Honestly, it's pretty useless and overpriced in my personal opinion, just a very forgettable vehicle. I just don't see a purpose or a reason in owning it. Moving on to the Siren San Andreas website, we have 30% off the RT3000. So this one's in a sports class and is a below average performing car in that class. But obviously the reason you buy this car is, again, for the styling, customization, driving feel, etc., not really the performance, as with most of the tuners DLC cars. I think Rockstar did a phenomenal job with this thing in regards to the details and customization. Next up, we have 30% off the Penumbra FF. So this one's in the sports class and it has above average track performance in that class due to its great acceleration, handling, and the all-wheel drive system. It's actually a really nice car to drive that's respectably quick, plus it has tons of great customization. Continuing, we have 30% off the Segoy. So this one's in a sports class and is one of the slowest cars in that class for track performance due to its poor handling. It's front-wheel drive, which some cars in GTA that are front-wheel drive handle well, but this is not one of them. It's just terrible to drive. It's not balanced at all, and it just drives like an absolute mess. However, I will say that from a realism perspective, the exterior styling and customization is very well done, so it definitely doesn't disappoint in that department. And lastly, for this website, we have 30% off the Nagasaki Outlaw. So this little off-roader is a ton of fun to drive. However, the performance is pretty average in the off-roads class, and unfortunately it doesn't really offer any visual customization except for some liveries. So yeah, another one that I don't really see a purpose in owning, but if you've been wanting one for some reason, I guess this is probably a good price. On to the Benny's website, we have 30% off the Benny's custom conversion cost to turn the Elegy RH8 into the Elegy Retro Custom. So this conversion normally costs about $900,000, but with this discount, it will only cost you about $600,000, which, at least to me, is an absolute steal. The Elegy Retro was arguably the best car from Benny's due to its phenomenal customization, detail, exhaust note, and the way it drives. I mean, it's just super easy and smooth to drive. Rockstar just absolutely nailed this one. And lastly, for the Warstock website, we have 30% off the Blazer Aqua, which is a pretty random vehicle to put on sale. It's essentially an ATV that turns into a jet ski, which sounds cool, but honestly, it's pretty useless in the current world of GTA Online. Plus, you do need to own a vehicle warehouse in order to actually purchase it, so keep that in mind. Moving on to the gun van, we have the following weapons available this week, and 30% off the heavy revolver as well. In regards to clothing unlocks, if you buy the Jester RR, the RT3000, or the Segoy this week, you'll be awarded the Dinka logo t-shirt. Continuing to double money, we have double money NRP on the adversary mode offense defense, double money RP and LS Carmi rep on Carmate series races, double money NRP on exotic exports, and lastly, double money on the Auto Shop client vehicle deliveries. In regards to the weekly challenge this week, if you complete 3 Auto Shop client deliveries this week, you'll receive 100,000 and the LS Customs coveralls, which is actually pretty cool. Continuing to the weekly vehicle robberies from the Salvage Yard business, again, these only change once per event week. We have the podium robbery with the Ballistic Conjo, which is actually claimable this week. So this one normally costs just under 600,000, so not a pricey car, but it does come with the exclusive LS Pounders plate, so at least there's that. Also, we have the cargo ship robbery with the Jester RR, and the Duggan robbery with the Growler, but again, those two are currently not claimable. It is only the Civic, so yeah, Rockstar, thanks for the Civic. Anyways, lastly for the time trials, this week's normal time trial is down Chiliad, which is arguably the most difficult time trial to complete. I don't even recommend attempting this one, but if you do want to, I would suggest a quick bike. For the premium race, we have the motorcycle race Boots on the Ground. I highly recommend the Power Surge for this race, and if you're on current gen, I highly recommend using the HSW Hakachu Drag. And lastly, for current gen console users, the HSW Time Trials Pacific Bluffs. As always, the HSW Hakachu Drag will be the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Elegy Retro. I just think it's a great price on a car with the customization, detail, driving experience that it offers. It's just a fantastic deal for just a very well-made car from Rockstar. Anyways, guys, overall, this event week I would say is slightly above average, and really the only reason for that is because of the quantity of vehicle discounts. There's a lot, because obviously in regards to double money, it's pretty lackluster. I don't see why they didn't put the auto shop contracts on double money. They only did the client deliveries and exotic exports, which is honestly pretty disappointing. However, again, the quantity of vehicle discounts is definitely surprising. So with that, I give this week a solid 6 out of 10. I wanted to give it a 5, but again, that quantity of vehicle discounts is noteworthy. So, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Anyways, again, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.